UFC needs to open up that 105 division. It has been so overdue.
I agree with you. I mean, there's so much talent now in the atomweight division, the 105 division. There's so many like women that compete at a high level, and I feel like there's a lot of strawweights that compete that compete at strawweight that should be competing at atomweight. Um, that would move down if it was available.
Oh, I know. I like when they brought in Michelle Watterson from Invicta. Like, if you weren't going to open an atomweight division essentially for her and people her size, like it's ridiculous that they haven't done it already. There's, like you said, there's such incredible talent at 105.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's like I know she's injured right now, but Stamp Fairtex. There's what's her name? Rena, SB Rena. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah.
There's a girl, I can't say her name, but she fights in the UFC, and she should be a 105er. I think she's like a Muay Thai specialist,
Oh,
Lumpini, or you know what I'm talking about?
Loma Lukbunmi.
Yes, yes, she should really be a 105er. I think. I don't
Oh,
know
I
that for sure, but
completely agree with you on this. But how was training leading up to this fight? You've been training for like 20 years. Is it just old hat, or do you reinvent training every time?
training is has in the last since I came back in 2023, it's been different in the fact that I am a complete mixed martial artist now, whereas before I lacked in the ground game. Um, I was barely I was barely a blue belt before that, and my time away, I took a lot of time to really work on my jujitsu and my wrestling, and I became a 10th planet purple belt. So that's one way that's different. Is now I train as a complete mixed martial artist, and also my I've had the same. I've had my head coach as my head coach since day one, but he continuously gets better in the fact that he is constantly striving and getting new education. As far as like being a coach, he's also a strength conditioning coach. He has 7 black belts. He also fought MMA as well, so he's continuously striving to like be better as well. And I have moved to South Florida in the last I don't know. I think this is my second year. I'm going on my second year. So I've been here like a year and a half, and that's been totally new to me since the last 20 years. I started training with Jillian Robertson and Din Thomas, and it hasn't even been a year yet, but I believe it's going to be a year in July with them, and that's really changed my game up. You know, just having um, a UFC legend in Din Thomas and having her as a training partner to really push me to new heights.
Oh yeah, Jillian Robertson. I mean, Dean Thomas. Like we grew up watching him, but Jillian Robertson, she is like on track for a UFC title right now. She is just such an incredible talent, day in, day out. What's it like training with someone like that?
It's incredibly inspiring. She's one of the hardest working fighters I have ever seen in my entire life. I just like, I learned so much from her. I'm like, what keeps you so inspired, so motivated? She goes, I have a schedule and I stick to it, and I don't care what's happening in my life. I just do it. And I'm like, wow. Like, I'm reading this book. I'm audio booking this book called Relentless by Glover. I think it's Tim Glover. And he talks about different personalities. And she's definitely, like, in my opinion, the same type of athlete as Michael Jordan. She's just so hardworking and so hard on herself. No matter if she like wins or whatever, she's like, I should have did this better. You know what I mean? It's just her mindset is just inspiring and motivating.
Okay, tell me a little bit. Okay, what is is it three types of people? So what are the types of people, and then where do you see yourself in that book?
Well, it's not just three. It's like more than that, and every person has the different traits of what he's talking about. It's like closer, cleaner, cooler. So, it's just which one are you more of? Does that make
Mm,
sense? So
Where do
he
you see
goes through
yourself
it.
in that?
It's
Mm.
kind of very detailed. So for me to like explain it to you, I can't unless I like have the notes like right in front of me, which I don't.
No, I feel you 100% on that. But that personality that she has, that is the personality that I I feel like if I had that personality, I probably, you know what I mean? Of like things would have turned out different if I knew how to just follow a schedule and like study and then just do the things that I needed to do. You know what I mean? That is the personality I wish I could have.
Right, right. I think we all aspire to be that, and I think since I've come back from taking time off, I really do my best to be that way. I'm not saying that I'm that way, but I'm working towards being that way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, let's go back to the very beginning here. I read, and stop me when I'm wrong here. You got into the sport mainly due to it being inspired by Oscar De La Hoya. Is that right?
That's correct.
Tell me
Yes.
everything. You first saw him. This was a few years ago, but walk me through it.
Um, so my dad and I used to watch Oscar De La Hoya box, and what up it was like behind the scenes lead up to one of his title fights. And I can't remember because I was like a kid, but he was talking about where I was like a teenager, like like
Mm,
10, 11, like something like that. Anyway, we were just he was talking about how he got bullied as a young person, and how it just sucked, and like I was getting bullied as a young person, and just growing up dealing with that. I didn't have role models that would talk about things like that, and it really inspired me, like, oh wow, like look at him now, like no one's gonna bully him now. He's boxing world champion, and that made me really want to be a fighter because of that, because and there's so many other fighters that have a similar story. And so fast forward to like later on, still getting bullied in high school, and my mom's like, I'm sick of you coming home like crying about getting bullied, so she put me in kickboxing. And then I had my bully try to bully me again, and I ended up teep kicking her as she was like coming towards me, and she fell over, and then she never tried anything with me ever again.
so fucking sweet. Man, that is absolutely awesome. Okay, so getting bullied, you were doing some Muay Thai kickboxing at the time, and then did you go right into fighting in MMA, or were you looking at other careers there?
I was trying to find a fight in kickboxing. Well, originally boxing, and then kickboxing, and then where I was at the time was living in Oklahoma, and there like every fight that I had for 2 years basically fell through, and I was just like, oh my god, I can't do this. It was so annoying, and just watching my then boyfriend and trainer like go through his first professional fight, like MMA fight, I was like, whoa, this is so much cooler. And so then I started doing jujitsu, and like MMA as a whole, and then the opportunity came up to fight MMA, and it was actually the first women's professional MMA fight, and they offered it to me, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. So I did it, and I won.
Fuck yeah. Oh, it's absolutely awesome. And you were also inspired here. I got one of my favorite guys of all time was back in the old Pride days, but Shogun Hua was my guy. And I know you were saying
Love
like I
him.
love Vito, the whole Shute box. Like people don't understand how
Yeah.
fucking cool that was, right?
They were so dominant, and just their style was like so fun to watch as a fan.
Oh man, in watching him like I don't know. I wasn't. I don't know. We're like the same age, but as a young guy, watching him like jump through the air and try these spinning kicks, and I was immediately like, man,
Hmm.
I got to be like Shogun for the rest of my life. Like if
Right,
I'm not like
right,
Shogun, I'm a failure.
right. Yeah, I love Shogun too. Yeah, Vitor was one of my favorites. Just like the blitz, when he would blitz box and like come forward. Actually, people have called me that before. I don't call myself that. I'm Nicdali, the Night Queen. But when people call me that, I'm like, oh, thank you. Like I'm honored to be called that,
So
because I've done
cool.
that in previous fights.
Fucking awesome. Okay, let's talk about the Night Queen a little bit here because I want to go back a little bit. Back in the mid 90s, there was a really cool counterculture movement that was quite big at the time. Like Spawn, we had the X Files, we had like Buffy, we had Blade, we had some
Mhm.
really cool stuff. And what were some of the main media or music or movies or whatever that really influenced you and your style? Because you can really see it. You live and breathe this.
Well, it's actually way before that. So this is kind of a morbid story.
Oh, lay it on me. I'm so
All
excited now.
right. So, um, growing up, I was always just kind of like a little bit different than other kids, and I remember on the way to my childhood house, there was a cemetery, and I would tell my mom like every day, like, I want to go to that park. I want to go to that park. And then one day, my mom finally was like, I'm basically tired of hearing her say she wants to go to this park. And she would be like, well, Nicdali, the thing is about that park is it's for dead people. And I was like, what? Dead people? And then I was like, what are dead people? And so she like went on this explanation of like what dead people are. And then I was like, what? I want to go there. I want to see dead people. Okay, so weird, right? And then as soon as I learned about vampires, which I can't even remember like what it was because I wasn't really allowed to watch TV.
Mm.
And I was like, I want to be immortal. Like I wanna like be immortal and never die. Like that is the coolest thing ever, you know. So and then later on, whenever I was actually like much older, like in like late teens when I was kind of like, oh, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna do what I want, watch TV or whatever. Then yes, I love Blade. Like Blade is like one of my, oh my god, like inspirations. Like he's incredible, and like Wesley Snipes and like Blade 1 and 2 and 3. Like I know people don't like some of them, but I love all of them. And his story, like as a vampire, to me is like one of the best. You know.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, yeah, there's a couple pieces I want to jump on there, but what is it? I found with myself, I'm fascinated. I think it's really interesting to be into kind of the very macabre style
Mhm.
culture. And then I moved to Edinburgh a few years back, and half of the city is like underground, and there was witches' covens under the city, and there's graveyards everywhere. And then as soon as I'm faced with the real stuff, I realize I'm not a gangster or cool at all. I'm like, oh no, these are actual dead people. I don't want to do this anymore. Are you the same way, or are you like, no, fuck no, that's, or is it just a
uh
fantasy? Like, where do we, you know what I mean here?
No, it's still fascinating to me. Uh, as my mom would say, death is a part of life, and it's all gonna come for us. Death is the ultimate winner. So, um, I know that I will too one day. Hopefully, when I'm 120. Um, but I don't know. Like I think it's like fascinating, to think about what's after this life, you know, and everyone has their own theories about it. So,
Would what would be the worst outcome? Like being trapped as a ghost or just nothing? Like where does it where is the best like that's the afterlife for me and what is the worst afterlife do you imagine?
there's definitely not nothing because they say that that's like not a possibility, but I think the worst outcome would be to repeat life again, but as someone else. Like the reincarnation, how they say like you're gonna be reborn, but like as something else or as someone else. Like I would
Mm.
not want that. Like to me, that would be like the worst possible outcome.
Once
Um,
was kind of a lot actually. I don't want to do this again.
I wouldn't mind doing this again if I would like relive my life. Because I really love my life and I love the people in it.
Mm.
But I wouldn't want to redo life again as someone else because I don't know that I would like that. Or as like an animal, like how some people believe in that. I don't
Mhm.
know if I believe in that or not, but I'm saying if it was a possibility, I think the best possible outcome would be like to be reborn as a star, like up in space in your star, like you're this giant, powerful, sun-like consciousness. In my That's what I would think. You know.
Man, that's how, man, you make me feel so stupid. Like I was gonna be like, yeah, a house cat would be cool. And then you're like, yeah, I'll be a fucking star and make life and like a whole solar system around me. And I'm like, yeah, just napping in the sunlight as a house cat. But yeah. So yeah, I think maybe we'll be being a poltergeist seems fun though. Am I wrong here?
That
Like
would,
possessing
yeah, that would
people,
be fun too. Yeah, that
slamming
would be fun.
cabinets at people.
Hmm. Yeah, I would love that too. Playing practical jokes, you know.
That would be the time. All right. And I wanted to ask you as well. You got to cosplay as Melina in
Mm.
a Mortal Kombat video, and it turned out absolutely awesome. Tell me
Oh,
about
thank
that
you.
experience a little bit.
Oh man, so I'm a very creative person, and luckily I have a really good friend in Megan Penning, who's also like really creative, and she's like into acting and like you know, martial arts and stuff other than MMA. And um her boyfriend has like a background in acting and like stunts and stuff like that. And also my my life partner, husband, Travis, he is an aspiring stunt coordinator, and he has a lot. Like I said before, he's got like 7 black belts, and he also was in the Marine Corps. Anyway, we all got together and collaborated on this piece, like the Mortal Kombat, because we all really love the Mortal Kombat universe, and so we all collaborated together to bring it to you. We actually made a follow up video to it with fatalities in it, but editing takes forever, so we just haven't been able to like get the whole collab. But it's coming. It's coming. I don't know when, but it's coming.
No, I feel that I've been, yeah. It takes forever to edit that, but that was like 2 years ago, wasn't it? Like it
Hmm.
does take a while to edit things.
Yeah. Well, we just filmed the new one like a year ago, so you know what I mean.
Keep an
So,
eye out. It's going to be absolutely
and
awesome.
they had like a movie that just came out not too long ago. So, and they have all these other projects, and like I've been fight. This is my third fight in 5 months. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's not like a sole thing that we do. It's like an added. It's a side quest, essentially. So it's not like a priority. So it's just, you know,
It's coming in. Now,
it's
speaking
coming.
of side quests, absolutely fascinated with you are a comic book writer.
Yes. Mhm.
Walk me through the process, the world building, the creation of it. I want to know everything about this, and the links for all of this that we're discussing. Everything here is going to be down below. But tell me a little bit about being a comic book writer.
So, I really wanted to create a comic book character um, that I that just like kept appearing to me in my dreams and just in my thoughts, like my daydreams as well. And it's her name is Miss Mexica Nicdali, and she is inspired by Quetzalcoatl, and she's a female version, and she's kind of like, if I could like be anyone, she's like who I would want to be, like in some dimension. And so then I started thinking to myself, like, what does a character like her look like? Like, what do the characters around her look like? What does her universe look like? And so then I had to create it. Like it was just like inside of me for years. And then finally I found an artist to collaborate with to like make it happen. Um, I'm currently working on issue 2, which probably will not be coming out till 2026. Just because this, like I said before, this is my third fight in 5 months, and I plan on fighting 2 more times this year. All God willing, universe willing, that I stay healthy and like can do it all. Um, you know, that that's a side quest, but it's been brewing. It's been like wanting to come out to like the second iteration. And so what the second story is going to be about is like more of like what life is like on their planet, which their planet is called Shabalba.
Mm.
And the rivers there are made of blood. So like it's kind of like here being on Earth, like water is like what humans drink, and they're alien vampires, and so they drink blood. And so, but it's not like they need humans to like drink it, because it's just natural on their planet.
So the planet must be so. would the planet be then made of flesh kind of thing? Like, does it have a beating heart?
Yes, it's like covered in flesh. Like
Hmm.
there's no sunlight that comes in. There's sunlight like if you go above the flesh, and then
Hmm.
like inside is like it's kind of like inside a human body, but like yeah, and then like it has a core that like beats.
That's pretty fucking cool. You gotta admit that is super fucking cool, right?
Thank you so much.
No, looking forward to it. And when you do the second edition, we'll do an interview to
Oh
help
yeah,
out with
thank
that
you.
as well. Now, you have done tons of modeling on OnlyFans. Tell me a little
Hmm.
bit about the empowerment that you feel through this endeavor.
Well, I was an ugly duckling, kind of. You know, we all go through our awkward stage, and just a lot of people told me when I was younger, oh, like you can't do that, blah blah blah. Even though I started modeling when I was 8 years old, I did like kid runway modeling, I did like bikini modeling, like mannequin modeling, and things like that. And, you know, as a woman, if you want to do something like that, I don't see what the issue is. Like, if you're being forced into it, then I don't agree with it. But, you know, I want to do that. I'm not going to look this good forever. So, and I work extremely hard to look this way. I watch what I eat, I work out. So, why can't I be on OnlyFans and like show off my hard work? You know, and like literally, it's really me on there, and I love talking to my fans about anything and everything. I'm super nerdy. So like I love comic books. We can have intellectual conversations about like science or whatever it is you want. Like, you know, I'm super cool. I'm chill. I'm not like bitchy. So yeah, like I don't see what the problem is. Like it's you I use OnlyFans in a way to like connect with my real fans that like really want to talk to me.
Well, yeah, and the stuff that you're putting out there, I wouldn't. It's not incredibly racy. Like these are professionally put together photos.
Mhm.
These are like
Yeah.
real photo shoots that you would see in a Sports Illustrated, an
Yeah, or
SI.
like or like Maximum, or like, you know, what is it, the ESPN bodies,
Mhm.
like why not show it off like while I have it, you know?
Oh yeah. You know what? You know what's crazy? Before I started, like I didn't realize how expensive all this stuff is. Like now, it takes so much work to put a photo shoot together, right?
Yes, it does. Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, I have photographers that like want to collaborate with me and like want to like, you know, help out or whatever, or some of them even like will pay me like to do it, but then they'll like keep certain pictures for themselves, you know, kind of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, did you ever end up doing the fingering your belly button video?
No, I did not.
No, because I feel like that's like that is weird, but it's not the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I did do like a video showing my armpit because they really wanted to see my armpits. So I was like, okay, well, all right. It's not
I
like
mean,
you can't watch training videos or like fight videos and not see that. So I'm like, all right.
I actually feel bad for a lot of female fighters who now can't sell their feet pictures just because like everyone's seen it. I show up like my day job is showing up. You know what I mean?
You know, you would think that, but guys still want to buy them from them. Like, not just me, but like other female fighters that are like in the UFC or like not in the UFC. They're like, yeah, like they can just go look at them online, but they still want to, they will still want whatever they want. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, did you know that foot fetish is the number one fetish in the world?
No, I did not know that. I did
Yeah.
not know that. Okay.
Gay or straight or whatever sexual orientation you are, foot fetish is number one. It's king.
All right, all right, all right. Now, if fans want to talk to you about feet, comic books, anything cool like that, or rivers of blood on foreign planets,
Right.
OnlyFans is the best place to reach out, right?
Yes, yes. Because, like, on Instagram, it's kind of like if you reach out to me, I may not have time to see it. I may not, if I'm not following you back, I might not be able to like see your message request, you know? So, and I really do make time to like talk to all my fans on OnlyFans. But if you're talking to me on Instagram, it's kind of like, you know, days might go by and
Oh, I know, I know. I have like a tenth of the amount of followers you have. I don't know how you would deal with all those messages on Instagram. Like
yeah,
half of them, I just let them fall. Like I'm never going to see that again. Oh
yeah,
well.
whatever.
Yes, social media can be really exhausting, but OnlyFans is the place. Okay, so for anyone starting out in the industry, what advice would you pass on to these people?
Get you a reputable coach who has experience in MMA or coaching MMA fighters, and also get training partners that you trust, that you can drill with. And also talk to someone that's like a mentor that's already like fighting in MMA that can tell you like the other side of it, not just like the fighting part of it, the business side of it. Because where a lot of fighters mess up is like they only worry about fighting and they don't worry about the business side of it, and that's just as important as fighting.
I completely co-sign with you on that. We have MCFC3 coming up on May 31st. I'm going to put the pay-per-view link down below. But last word goes to you. Talk us on out of here. Shout out who you need to shout out. Thank who you need to thank. All that good stuff.
All right. Well, I am proud to be an OnlyFans athlete, which we've already talked about. If you want to see my fight, May 31st, the pay-per-view link is down below, you said, and it's also in the link in my bio. It's only $15. So, it's not a big deal. There's other fighters on the card. I believe there's 12 fights. So it's not just mine. So, I think it's like a good price. So a good evening to stay in or, hang out with your friends. Also, I want to thank PMR Construction for being amazing and like sponsoring me and believing in me like each and every last 3 fights. Also, I want to thank Professor Working on My Savage for being my coach since day one and believing in me, even when no one else believed in me. And also, Master Ken, re-stomp the groin.
Thank you so much for your time and best of luck in the match.
Thank you so much.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.